We are happy you could join us, and we are with Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group of Food and Wine Sommelier of the Year. The group includes Where We Are. We're back at the Sovereign in Georgetown. Great selection of Belgian beers, among other things, and the food, of course. Not the newest in the NRG, one of the newest, but also Hazel over by the 930 Club, which got a pretty nice review from Tom Seatsma of the Washington Post recently. That was nice. Greg, great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Can you make it colder outside, please?
It's pretty good in here.
Yeah, it is good in here. Outside,
Impressed.
he just unloaded 10 pallets of beer, you know, because he's young. But,
I was certainly not alone.
What do we have on tap this week?
Well, so this week we have a fantastic beer to beat the heat. It's from Jolly Pumpkin, one of our favorites out of Dexter, Michigan. It's called La Vida Improvisacion, and it's the first in the improvisation series from Ron Jeffries, who is the founder and brewmaster of Jolly Pumpkin. So, as with all Jolly Pumpkin beers, the beer receives a little bit of acidity and a slight bit of funk from barrel aging. Every single beer that comes out of Jolly Pumpkin is wild in character in some way, some more acidic than others, some funkier than others. A kind of farmhouse ale base, ages in oak, and it's dry hopped, so you get some hop character in the nose. But I think the other thing that's very cool is it's finished with a host of tropical fruits. So you've got papaya, mango, even some apricot stone fruit, and then lilikoi, which is a yellow passion fruit.
Lilikoi.
It's very sweet and very tart fruit.
We had a whiff of this before we started, and
Yeah, amazing.
Ooh, such the bouquet.
What I love about these kinds of beers is that it's fruit forward, but it's not a fruit beer. There's so much more going on. You've got hop character in the nose. You've got fermentation character. There's an earthiness. A lot of the sugars from those fruits are consumed during the fermentation process, so it doesn't get too sweet on the palate. Really refreshing.
Really nice.
Lots of oak in the finish. Lots of tannins to dry it out. And just a wonderful beer that incorporates fruit rather than allows itself to be overwhelmed by fruit.
Now, when we talk about it's spent some time in oak, is that French oak, American oak, or do you, I mean?
Yeah. Well, so the cool thing here is Jolly Pumpkin began in 2004. It's America's oldest sour beer producer, if you want to use that term, or funky beer producer. And up now, I think they have over 500 different oak vessels. So that's gonna, and most of them are used, meaning that most of them have been used previously to age red wine, white wine, maybe bourbon, maybe brandy. So that's what's kind of important, is that they're not going to be as tannic. They have had to augment their collection with new oak recently because the used oak market is getting stretched pretty thin because everybody's using barrels now. But it really is, there's a myriad. You've got American oak, you've got Hungarian oak, you've got French oak. And one of the greatest things about Ron Jeffries, who is the auteur at the head of Jolly Pumpkin, is he puts these blends together based on so many influences. It's like winemaking. The blending is as important as anything else.
Now, right when I tasted this for the first time, I started thinking about what food would go with this, because I just know it's going to be good food.
Yeah.
What would you pair it with?
Well, so this is an obvious, I think, seafood beer. It would be great. When you think about all that tropical fruit character and the dryness here, it lends itself to, shrimp preparations. You have grilled shrimp or something like that. One thing that's very cool is, and we've talked about this slightly in the past, is a lot of molecular gastronomy has discovered these chemical compounds that are shared between certain foods. So that's a kind of a fun way to approach food pairing sometimes. And one of these kind of strange food pairings, I mean, the most obvious one I think that most people know is pineapple and ham. We've gotten used to that in Hawaiian pizza. But if you think about it, that's kind of a strange, pairing, right?
If you just thought about it without
randomly,
trying
right?
it, yeah.
But they share certain flavor compounds, and it makes it a great pairing. Well, same thing for for passion fruit and oysters. So this would be a fantastic oyster beer. Love it with grilled shrimp. And then it also works very nicely with Tex-Mex barbecue, with that tropical fruit and acidity. And then even like Indian takeout. I always think of this as like a chutney-like beer.
Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.